Did you know that in ancient Rome, there was an emperor named Caligula? He was so obsessed with himself that he demanded people worship him as a living god. He even tried to make his favorite horse a consul, one of the highest political offices. Now, that might sound a bit extreme, but this pattern of an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive admiration, and a complete lack of empathy for others, well, it's a classic example of what we now call narcissism. And while most of us aren't dealing with Roman emperors, we might be dealing with someone in our lives who makes us feel just as small, just as powerless, and just as confused. Emotional manipulation by a narcissist is one of the most draining, soul-crushing experiences a person can go through. It's a slow burn. It doesn't happen overnight. It starts with small comments, little criticisms disguised as jokes, and a constant undermining of your reality. You start to question yourself. Am I overreacting? Am I too sensitive? Maybe they're right. This is called gaslighting, and it's a narcissist's favorite tool. They create a fog of confusion so dense that you can't see the truth anymore. You lose your sense of self, your confidence, your joy. You find yourself walking on eggshells, constantly trying to please them, to avoid their anger or disapproval. But the goalposts are always moving. Nothing is ever good enough. I know how that feels. I know the feeling of your heart sinking when you hear their keys in the door. I know the anxiety of checking your phone, dreading the next text message that will either shower you with affection or tear you down. It's an emotional roller coaster you never signed up for, and it leaves you feeling exhausted and empty. You feel isolated, because how do you explain this to someone who hasn't been through it? How do you explain that the person who claims to love you is also the source of your deepest pain? It's a lonely place to be. But I want you to know something. Right here, right now, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not crazy. What you are experiencing is real, and it is not your fault. Escaping this cycle isn't just about leaving. It's about reclaiming your mind, your spirit, and your life. It starts with understanding the game they play. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to talk about 5 essential things you absolutely must know about narcissists to stop the emotional manipulation and start your journey back to yourself. First, and this is the absolute foundation, you cannot change them. Let me say that again. You cannot change them. Narcissistic personality disorder is a deeply ingrained pattern. It's not a bad mood or a rough patch. It's the very core of how they see the world, with them at the absolute center. Many kind, empathetic people fall into the trap of thinking, if I just love them enough, or if I'm just more patient, or if I can just explain my feelings better, they'll understand and change. This is a beautiful, compassionate thought, but with a narcissist, it's a recipe for heartbreak. Your love will be seen as supply. Your patience will be seen as tolerance for their bad behavior. Your explanations will be twisted and used against you. Trying to fix a narcissist is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. You will pour all of your energy, all of your love, all of your being into it, and at the end of the day, you will be empty, and the bucket will be too. Accepting this is not giving up. It's the first step to setting yourself free. It's not your job to fix broken people, especially when they're the ones breaking you. Second, you must understand their primary weapon, gaslighting. Gaslighting is the systematic denial of your reality. They will say things like, "That never happened," "You're imagining things," or "You're just being dramatic." They will rewrite history in real time, leaving you completely disoriented. The goal is to make you doubt your own sanity, your own memory, so that you become more dependent on their version of reality. So how do you fight this? You become a dedicated record keeper of your own life. Write things down. When a conversation feels off, make a note of what was said, the date, the time. Save text messages and emails. This is not about gathering evidence to confront them. Remember point 1, you can't change them. This is for you. It's your anchor to reality. When you start to doubt yourself, you can look back at your own notes, in your own handwriting, and say, "No, this did happen. I am not crazy. My reality is valid." This simple act is incredibly empowering. It rebuilds the trust you have in your own mind. Third, you need to learn about love bombing and devaluation. This is the classic push-pull, the hot and cold cycle that gets you hooked. In the beginning, the love bombing phase is intoxicating. They shower you with attention, affection, and praise. They tell you you're the most amazing person they've ever met, that you're soulmates. It feels like a fairy tale, but it's not real. It's a tactic. They're creating a powerful, positive memory that they can use later. Because once they have you hooked, the devaluation phase begins. The compliments turn into criticisms. The affection is withdrawn and replaced with silent treatment. They begin to chip away at your self-esteem, making you feel worthless. Then, just when you're at your breaking point, they might pull you back with a little bit of love bombing, reminding you of the good times. This cycle creates a powerful psychological bond, similar to an addiction. You keep chasing the high of that initial love bombing phase. Recognizing this pattern is crucial. When you see it for what it is, a calculated manipulation, not a genuine emotional connection, it starts to lose its power over you. The fairy tale shatters, and you can see the manipulative machinery working underneath. Fourth, you must establish and enforce strong boundaries. Narcissists do not have boundaries. They see other people as extensions of themselves, there to serve their needs. Your time, your energy, your emotions, even your belongings, are all theirs for the taking in their eyes. Setting boundaries is not about giving them rules to follow. It's about defining what you will and will not tolerate. And here's the key part. You must enforce those boundaries with consequences. For example, if you say, "I will not tolerate being yelled at." If you raise your voice, "I will end this conversation and leave the room," you must do it. Every single time. The first time you do it, they will likely escalate. They will test your resolve. They might call you selfish or controlling. This is a test. Hold firm. When you consistently enforce your boundaries, you are teaching them, and more importantly, you're teaching yourself, that your well-being is not negotiable. This is incredibly difficult, especially after years of having your boundaries trampled, but it is the way you take your power back. You are drawing a line in the sand and saying, "My well-being starts here." And fifth, the most important step of all, prioritize your own healing. This journey is not just about escaping the narcissist, it's about finding your way back to you. The you that existed before you met them. The you that had hobbies, friends, and dreams. The you that trusted your own judgment. You need to actively reconnect with that person. Re-engage with old friends they may have isolated you from. Pick up a hobby you used to love. Spend time in nature. Journal your thoughts and feelings. And please, consider seeking professional help from a therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. Having a trained, impartial guide to help you navigate the complex emotions of guilt, anger, and grief is invaluable. They can give you tools and strategies to rebuild your self-esteem and create a future that is defined by you, not by your past trauma. Remember, healing is not a race. It's a process of rediscovering your own worth, one day at a time. You have been through an invisible war, and it's okay to have scars. But those scars do not define you. They are a testament to your strength, your resilience, and your survival. You survived. Now it's time to thrive. By understanding that you can't change them, by documenting your reality to fight gaslighting, by recognizing the love bombing and devaluation cycle, by setting ironclad boundaries, and by committing to your own healing, you can break free. You can stop the manipulation. You can breathe again. Your life is your own, and it's waiting for you to reclaim it. It's not an easy path, but it is the path to freedom, peace, and a life filled with genuine joy and authentic connection. You deserve that. You have always deserved that. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content to help you on your healing journey. Take care of yourself.